we ensure the survival and prosperity of our civilization. The core 6 technologies: logistics, ops, and strategy tactics. Remember intentions? Intentions are a kind of technology. Recombinations are a kind of logistics. And actions are a kind of operations, aka ops. Strategy tactics are strategy tactics. The 6 technologies, logistics, ops, and strategy tactics that have defined our civilization on Earth so far are video infiltration, the hydrogen bomb, warp drive, the augment swarm, the biomachine interface, the distributed manufacturing system. Video infiltration lets you find out what you don't know. You may think you know something, but then some new information completely changes your understanding of how the world works. This is part of evolution. This is a game you don't get not to play. By pretending that evolution does not exist, that somehow you are God's favorite child, you're guaranteeing that you will lose. Why? Because the world keeps evolving faster and faster. Pretending that there is no such thing as evolution guarantees that someone or something out-evolves you, which means that they will win and you will lose. Don't ever tell yourself, quote, that I understand everything. It's true that at this particular moment, you do understand everything at this particular moment. But unless you spend 90% of your time thinking and 90% of your time organizing, not to be confused with building organizations, and 1% of your time in swift, decisive action, you will lose. The race belongs to the swift only if they've done their thinking and organizing first. Of course, you have to keep doing this to out-evolve your competition, which means that you have to give yourself time to think, organize, and take action. That's why the oligarchs want you to be working on whatever they tell you to work on all the time. That way you have no leisure time. That's the secret of Northern Europe. They use their leisure time to think, organize, and take action. Nowhere is this more obvious than in Germany. If you can, go visit Germany and see how people there actually live. Leave your prejudices behind. Prejudice will only slow you down. Of course, you want to document what you observe. You want to think about. Some people will say you're brooding, what you've seen and heard and felt. Write these down in a notebook with a space pen. No battery is required. Keep the notebook dry or use waterproof paper notebooks. Then get a good night's sleep. You might want to get up a bit later, but remember, hotels are the time when you should not be in your room so they can clean it. While they're cleaning it, go out and sneakily, so you can escape if people react violently to your experimentation. Test the theories that you organized into experiments the night before. Do this again and again and again, and you will start to understand how Germany or any other nation or system actually works. So how does video fit into this? Notice I said video, not film. Even 4K video is not film. Why? Because good video leaves room for the imagination. If I show you a shark chomping on some swimmers, you react with a spurt of fear, and then you'll say to yourself, that's not real. That's not happening in this movie theater right now. I'm safe. Haha, stupid shark. But if I don't show you the shark, and I show you the swimmers disappearing into oblivion beneath the water, you say, what the? That really could be here. Now might be a good time to get some popcorn, to reassure myself that there are no sharks swimming around in the theater. See, the power of video. Brought to you by sneaking video cameras, often on drones, with shotgun microphones on them into places where the authorities say you must not go, or they will kill a kitten, like God was said to do if you question the local Catholic priest. That is another name for orthodoxy. You don't want orthodoxy. You want skepticism. Skepticism armed with video infiltration. Of course, we are also armed with a hydrogen bomb, or should I say, with hydrogen bombs, plural, as in I am become death, the destroyer of worlds, Almagadoro, etc. We don't have to actually use these to get respect. This is called mutually assured destruction, as well as its close cousin, mutually assured survival. When you have the bomb, everyone wants you to survive. Of course, you can combine the bomb with mecha and warp drive to warp an assault ship to less than 50 feet off the ground in a target city to avoid most radar. Then you disperse your mecha into the target city number 1. Then your mecha fires the warp missiles armed with thermonuclear warheads into target city number 2. The enemy, whose target cities they are, cannot attack your mecha, at least not with strategic weapons, because your mecha and your nukes are in the enemy's own city, meaning that they will have to fight your mecha conventionally, with other mecha, assuming they have them. Diabolical. Well, not really. God fights on the side of the biggest artillery, as in H-bombs. Really. Of course, we don't want to be there when the bombs eventually do start falling. This is called the not being there strategy of survival. So the mecha can be controlled by artificial intelligences which pour themselves into the mecha and pour themselves out of the mecha once they fire the nukes. The mecha gives us the power to persist in the enemy strongholds. When the artificial intelligences, aka AIs, pour themselves through the data pipeline of satellites in space, there's no person left in the mecha. Therefore, no slavery when the enemy destroys the empty mecha. Of course, until the artillery mecha fire their nukes, the artillery mecha are protected by infantry mecha and by slow missiles, small warp missiles which travel at most a few hundred nautical miles. Am I boring you? Obviously, the mecha and slow missiles and drones on the ground, in the air, and at sea are part of the augment swarm while they have artificial intelligences in them. The AIs are compensated in gold-backed currency for that work. Again, no slavery. However, not everybody is an AI. So how do you protect non-AI people? With the power augment suit. Typically made of hydroformed titanium sheet, bonded to carbon nanotube composite sheet, with arrays of titanium and carbon nanotube composite pillars in the 21st century version of applique armor, like what the samurai wore in battle. The power augment suit, also called the personal armor suit, is of course powered, usually with linear actuators and brushless motors, but increasingly with carbon nanotube entropic springs, which contract when subjected to an amperage or voltage greater than some threshold, and then relax when the current, aka amperage, or voltage is withdrawn. When you have a bunch of these entropic springs bundled together like a spindle of muscle, this is called nanomuscle. Nanomuscle lets you move like a ninja and less like a samurai. And that's a big advantage since the ninja can usually outmaneuver a samurai and kill him. Notice too that this power augment suit, aka power armor suit, is connected to every person, entity, and system described in this book, thus creating the world cyborg, from which the word cyborgism or borgism is derived. Notice that connecting all these bits of hardware and software and socialware together requires message-oriented middleware. We use RabbitMQ, a software application written in programming language called Elixir, E-L-I-X-I-R. This can run on topological quantum computers that have braids, or widely separated anyons, A-N-Y-O-N-S, thus creating quantum, space, and time entangled networks. Really, a super evolved phone system for cyborgs. Still boring you? This network of quantum connections is the bio-machine interface. Notice that new cyborgs need a way to easily make these systems on their own. Just as mecha can carry warheads, so too can they carry 3D printers, including but not limited to FEDID. Look up Andrei Fedorov on DuckDuckGo. ANDREI space FEDOROV. and 3D metal printing, and 3D carbon nanotube printing. Suddenly, construction yards everywhere, famous for their security, are great places to build hardware, software, and peopleware, also called socialware, for the world cyborg. Am I still boring you? Next section. You are the edge of the sword. Work, live, play. Rules for cyborg.